my coat today because it's fall time here in Minnesota, and I got to show you how I've been riding all summer in the Jeep. See, I've been riding with no doors, and so now that the temperatures are so chilly, I need a jacket on. Hey, if you're brand new to our channel, my name is Scot Mendenhall. Welcome to our channel where we document life as it happens. And we're gonna talk about a story that's pretty cool because we're celebrating a 3-year birthday anniversary. I'm not sure how you want to say it, but Unlock Church, the church that my family and I moved from Miami, Florida to here, that church turns 3 this Sunday. 3 years old. Since our 3-year anniversary is happening on this Sunday, we're going to dispense the information why we moved to Minnesota from Miami, Florida. We're gonna tell the whole story, so hang tight. But we're gonna go to one of my favorite restaurants with a great guy from Unlock Church. His name's Dave. We're going to Blue Door. You're gonna get to experience one of my favorite restaurants in the Twin Cities. Look what I thought! Blue Door has a Blue Door. Spectacular food. Really quick, I need to throw this on because I think it's gonna help illustrate the next portion of the story of what brought my family from Miami, Florida to the Twin Cities of Minnesota. So let me throw this on. Oh, thank you very much, Skol Vikings. See, I've been a Viking fan forever. Like 4 years old, saw the Vikings play through a fence in Mankato or somewhere in Minnesota when I was little. I saw them when Jim McMahon was the quarterback, and I forever have been a fan.
Good protection again. McMahon throws complete, first down at the 32. Chris Carter.
Being a Viking fan has a lot to do with our story of getting from Miami to Minnesota. One afternoon in Florida, I was watching the Vikings and Packers play. That's the only reason why they were even being debuted on a channel, is because it was a rival game. And as I was watching the game, they pan into the crowd of the Vikings fans all over, just running rampant in the stadium. And as I was watching, all of a sudden I just had this thought. I always heard people talk about Minnesota Nice. There's t-shirts talking about Minnesota Nice, and I thought, man, or I just had this idea, this dream. If you married Minnesota Nice with a follower of Jesus, oh my goodness, now you're not just being nice because it's the motto of a state. You're being nice because Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. And I was like, wow, I gotta tell this to Holly. And then Holly she just was like, yeah, we gotta figure out how to get to the Twin Cities. And at that very moment began a journey of us talking to several people about moving my family from Miami to Minnesota. And I will never forget that game. I'll never forget that moment, because that's what keeps spurring us on in the story of Unlock Church. About our story is that it's not just we thought Minnesota was an amazing place, which it is. It's really that we've been called here. Like, we feel a strong desire to make a difference here in Minnesota with a group of people. And it's not because of anything other than, man, our heart is broken for people that live in Minnesota. And that's the fuel in what we get to do here. It'll be 5 years ago in March that my family and I moved here from Miami. And I videotaped my first drive down this street ever, pulling what would become the church trailer. I recorded my journey in here. You got gloves?
Yeah!
Wait. What do you think about all that snow?
It's awesome!
Now, speaking of that trailer was gifted to us. The church that we worked for down in Miami gifted that to us before we left, and they wrapped it with the church logo on it. it's so cool of them to do. And we move here, and again, rumors started going around, honestly, the country about a young family of 5 kids at the time, moved from Miami to Minneapolis, don't know anyone, they have no money, they're gonna start a church. And this church that we didn't know them, they just knew our story, called us up and said, hey, we have a bunch of equipment that we would love to give you if you can come get it. You know what we did? We unpacked ASAP. We threw all the kids back into the Suburban. We headed straight to Indiana. I was just like, it was too good to be true. I couldn't pass that up. All this free equipment from the carts that you see us using. A stage was given to, I mean, everything to do kids. It was amazing, and it was the very thing we needed to just confirm that this is really a God thing and not just Scott and Holly thing going, oh yeah, it'd be so cool to live in. We are on mission from day one on this journey of why we moved from Miami to Minnesota. And yeah, I still, to this day, all of these stories that we're sharing today are so real. Like, I'm telling them, and we have video footage, but they're real up here. It's crazy. It's just wild. It really is. A reasonable question that you're probably asking yourself is, why Maple Grove? Out of everywhere in Minnesota, why Maple Grove? If you grew up spending your time in Brainerd, why not just go there? Why Maple Grove? The only way I really know how to answer that is by showing you. Okay, so let's answer that question really quick and then get out of here. Why Starbucks? This is the Starbucks where Holly and I would come right before we would go to Brainerd and spend the summer in Gull Lake. This was the last Starbucks. At the time, there wasn't much built around here, and we'd sit here sipping on our coffee, and we would talk about how awesome the people were here, like how amazing everyone was. We're like, man, wouldn't it be awesome one day when we have kids and they're grown up, let's retire here. Wherever here is, let's retire here. It's like we kind of made a pact to retire here. Well, when we felt that, man, we're gonna come to the Twin Cities, we're like, we need to find where that last Starbucks is. That's where we're gonna go do a church plant. We had no idea it was called Maple Grove. We didn't know anything about it. We just knew we loved the people here. We loved the area. It was a no-brainer. The next piece of the puzzle was, man, how are you gonna get to know anyone when you knew no one? Is why Cedar Island Elementary School? Here's the deal. I'm a runner. I like to run. I like to run a lot. I do. And so as I ran around the neighborhood when I first moved here and started training, my house is only a mile from here. I started saying, man, this is it. I'm not gonna go further than where I live because I want to get to know my neighbors in my neighborhood and serve them. And so we found out that this school here was empty on Sundays, and we thought, let's start throwing parties for the community. And so we did these things called unlocktheparties.com. Instead of advertising a brand new church, we advertised a party. What's happening, guys? We are out just doing a little bit of spreading the Christmas cheer already. See the snow falling. You got some of the team back there just hitting the doors. I mean, we got Unlock the Party this week. We got live reindeer. We have Santa there. We have giveaways. We have just a party, really, to connect with people. The party ideas we came up with was, how do we reach people that currently aren't going to church and aren't looking for a church? Because that's the heart of Unlock Church, was to meet people that currently do not know who Jesus is. And so we thought, you know what? People that aren't currently looking for Jesus are probably looking for places to go party. Unlocktheparty.com was born, and we walked in snow, in everything. We walked as a church, inviting people to unlocktheparty.com. We threw a party with Elsa and Anna there. Will.
What?
Will, how did you feel about being Elsa or Anna, whichever one you were?
Oh my gosh. I did not want to do that from the minute you asked me to.
Why?
But I did because... Should I be looking at you?
It doesn't matter. This is your story.
What?
This is your story. Why didn't you want to be...
What's the question?
Why didn't you want to be Elsa or Anna? Who did you play?
I played Anna.
But why didn't you want to be her?
Because I'm not one to really dress up in character. I just was never that type of gal.
Well, why were you willing to do it?
For the kids. Always for the kids. And they loved it. They thought I was the real deal Anna. I almost said Elsa.
But you look, I mean, you did look like her.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
After we did quite a few of these UnlockTheParty.com events, we invited people to the community center where we thought, man, we'll have hundreds of people because we've had hundreds of people show up at these events. We'll bring them. They'll meet us. They'll love us. Well, only 6 people showed up to the very first meeting. Your initial thoughts when like 6 people showed up at the community center?
Ah!
Oh my goodness, they got coffee here.
Almost spilled the iced coffee.
What were some of your thoughts on when 6 people showed up at the community center after our first Unlock the Party?
Hey, that was 6 people. That was 6 people that were not there before. So I was pretty excited about that.
Having 6 people, we discussed and began to meet every Wednesday moving forward until we hit 40 people on a Wednesday night in the community center here in Maple Grove. And so from November till September of the following fall, we met every Wednesday. We played games, we had food, and we did some kind of book study. The coolest thing that we came up with as a team, one of the coolest things we came up with as a team was the See a Need, Meet a Need outreaches where we pay you car washes, we did more Unlock the Party events, we did a coat drive, we stood outside Sam's and Costco and served hot chocolate for free to people in Candy Kings around the holiday season just to put a smile on their face. We became a group of people that were on mission. We were a group of people that weren't going to sit around and just talk about one day we'll be this church that meets on Sunday. We're like, let's be that church now. And we began to live life and do life on mission. In the following September, the Sunday after Labor Day, we had a grand opening. And that grand opening set us on the trajectory of meeting every Sunday since for the last 3 years and growing little by little. And we're back where we started this whole thing, back in the church office, where it all began. When I say where it all began, this is where the idea of See a Need, Meet a Need came around. Because I sat in this room and thought, okay, we've moved, we're here, let's talk about the church. God, what do you want me to do? And it was like, just simply see needs and meet needs, and that's what we're all about at Unlock Church. We're talking a lot about Unlock Church and all the things that we've done in 3 years. And it's been a lot, but I think the coolest thing that Unlock Church has ever been a part of is inspiring people to see needs and meet needs. An individual that has the ability to meet one need can create a chain reaction of results that is mind-blowing. And today, we have that happening right here. Don't be alarmed of half a body sticking out from the car. That's John and Abijah back there. John, you've seen him before. He gets into a lot of mischief with me, church side of things, like when we put the fish house out on a lake. It's so much fun. Anyways, he's underneath there boosting up the back end of the Suburban. Maybe you've seen in some of the episodes over the last year or so when I go to pick up the church trailer and how it makes the butt of the Suburban sag. We're beefing up the butt. Is that can you say that? We're beefing up the butt. That's right, you heard it. Beefing up the butt of the Suburban back here to make it to where we can pull the church trailer. scary part about this whole deal is me releasing the jack. I don't know why they trust me with such dangerous procedures. But here we go. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, that was much better.
That was so smooth.
I'd high five you, but not a chance. I really want to high five John, but look at his hands. This hand to my hand, yeah, dirty man. I'm not gonna lie. I do like being the cameraman most of the times. It's kept me out of having bloody hands, greasy hands. I mean, somebody's got to document life, right? Why not me? And there you have it. The best is yet to come. That's the only way I know how to wrap this up, is to say, we're not done at all. We're not finished. We're just getting started. We are a young family in a young church that's simply on mission to change a neighborhood, a city, a state, maybe a nation. And we're gonna leverage whatever we can at the disposal of our hands to do such, to point people to Jesus. Thanks for those that have joined us on YouTube to do it. We're gonna leverage that. And those that are sitting at Unlocked Church watching this today. We are on mission to constantly figure out how to see a need, meet a need in the neighborhoods of Maple Grove and where you live. Thanks so much for coming on the journey with us over the last 3 years, wherever you've jumped in. If it was 4 years ago when you met me as a neighbor, or it was the last 2 weeks you popped in because you're checking out a new church. The best is yet to come. 3 years, we're just getting started. It doesn't matter the amount of people that sit in this room. It matters how many people are on mission, that are taking what Jesus said and not taking it lightly. And that is, love God with all of your heart, love your neighbor as yourself. If we do those 3 things well, talk about changing the world. It's going to be exciting to see what the next 3 years takes place and past that, because this ain't just something we're doing. This is something we're living. Have a fabulous day.
Yo, here at Unlocked Church, you hear Scott talking a lot about seeing needs, meeting needs, boosted boards. Thought to myself, I've got a boosted board. I like to see needs, meet needs. We're a teardown church here, so I like to run out and grab the signs for these guys while they're tearing down the rest of things. I get to have a little fun, and I get to do something for them.